हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू टेक शर्मित। आज के सेशन में हम एंगुलर के सर्विस डिपेंडेंसी इंजेक्शन से रिलेटेड एक और डेकोरेटर डिस्कस करेंगे, जिसमें हम बात करेंगे स्किप सेल्फ की। लास्ट सेशन में हमने बात की थी हमने लास्ट सेशन में बात किया था सेल्फ डेकोरेटर के बारे में। इसमें हम बात करेंगे स्किप सेल्फ के बारे में। ठीक है, तो वही सेम प्रोसेस रहेगा। सबसे पहले मैं रिक्वायरमेंट बताऊंगा, रिक्वायरमेंट के साथ में हम चीज़ें बिल्ड करेंगे। जैसे जैसे रिक्वायरमेंट होगी उस अकॉर्डिंग एक एक लॉजिक हम लिखेंगे, सर्विस क्रिएट करेंगे, कंपोनेंट क्रिएट करेंगे और बाकी जो भी रिक्वायर्ड HTML वगैरह है वो सब बिल्ड करेंगे। ठीक है, बट सेशन शुरू करने से पहले जस्ट एक रिकमेंडेशन है कि अगर अभी तक आप लोगों ने पहले वाले सेशंस नहीं देखे हैं तो आप पहले उनको देख सकते हो, क्योंकि ये जो पूरी प्लेलिस्ट है एक प्रॉपर सीक्वेंस और सिंक में है। तो अगर आप उसको सिक्वेंशियली फॉलो करोगे तो और भी ज़्यादा ईजी रहेगा आप लोगों के लिए ऑनगोइंग टॉपिक को समझना और उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना। क्योंकि अभी के लिए अपना मेन फोकस क्या है कि कैसे हम स्किप सेल्फ डेकोरेटर का यूज़ करते हैं। और कंप्लीट कोर्स के लिए आप लोग टेक शर्मिट डिजिटल कोर्स बुक को रेफर कर सकते हो, जो फ्रीली अवेलेबल है आप सभी के लिए डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में। वहाँ से आपको उसका लिंक मिल जाएगा और आपको सिर्फ एंगुलर ही नहीं बाकी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस के भी फ्री कोर्स मिल जाएंगे। ठीक है, अब हम सेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो यहाँ पे देखो एक एंगुलर की हेडिंग हमने डाली हुई है, एंगुलर 19 कोर्स बाय टेक शर्मिट, जो app.component.html में। इसी के बाद मैं एक और हेडिंग डाल देता हूँ और उसमें आज का टॉपिक डालते हैं। ठीक है, तो यहाँ आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वो है स्किप सेल्फ डेकोरेटर इन एंगुलर। स्किप सेल्फ डेकोरेटर फॉर सर्विस डिपेंडेंसी इंजेक्शन। Skip self decorator for service dependency injection in Angular. So this is our main task. Okay. Now with this heading, one thing is sure that we need one service. So let's create the service first. So here I will write ng is for Angular, g generate as service. My folder is a folder name. Then service name is logger, and then press enter. So once you press enter, it will show you the folder with the two files. One is spec.ts file and another one is a logger.service file. Spec.ts file we are not going to touch because this is something related to testing purpose, and for now we will just skip it. But the service.ts file, this is the main file where we will write the entire logic, okay, for the service. Now to write the logic, let's clear this up, and here I will simply put one method, that is log, then message. Okay, then we will write here colon and string, because we know that the type of this message would be string only. Okay, and then we will add one curly braces here, and in this which we will write one method, that is log. No, not like this. We will write here console dot log, and then the message, and message is log message. That's it. This is the simplest service we have created, which is doing nothing but receiving a message, and then that message will be used in a console log. Okay, so service is ready. Now to use this service, what we will do, we will create one child component. So here I will write, because this thing, that this self-scape or self decorator can be explained only with the child parent hierarchy, otherwise it won't work. Okay, because we have to understand the concept, and that concept is related to child parent hierarchy. Okay, so let's create the component. So for creating the component, ng for Angular, g generate, c component, and the name of the component would be child comp. Okay, then simply press enter. So once you press enter, it will take few seconds, and then it will show you the output on the folder. You can see we have 4 files: com.html and spec.ts, css and ts. So we want to use it in a ts, right? So let's write it like here. So what we will do now, I will simply write a logic to call a function that will say hello, and that hello message will be sent to the service. So for that we will write here say hello method. Okay, and inside this we will write this dot this, but before that we should add the constructor to inject the service. So write like this, private and logger logger service, and then curly braces opening closing. That's it. In this, what we will do, we will write here this dot logger dot log and the message that is hello from child. That's it. Okay, so what it will do, it will simply call this method, and whatever message is written inside this will be sent to the service. Now to execute this method, what we will do, we will go to child component.html. Here let's keep it as it is so that you can relate that it is coming from child component, and here I will create one button to execute the method. So I will write here click, and my method name is say hello opening closing parenthesis, and here I will write say hello. Okay, simple. Alright, now let's run the application for now, then I'll show you how it is working. So ng serve, and before that we have not attached this HTML now. So for that we will go to app.component.html, and here remember that we have to use the selector name to add this HTML. So in app.component.html we will write here app child comp. Perfect. Now ng serve -- open and enter. Wait for a few seconds, then it will show you the output with the required headings as well as the button. So you can see we have Angular 19 course by section with as a main heading, then we have skip self decorator for service dependency injection in Angular, and then we have child comp works say hello. Okay, now we will see if it is working. So if I open inspect and click on console, when I click on this button, you can see it is printing the message perfectly. Number of time I click here, it will retype the message log hello from child. That means everything is working perfectly. Now my question is, we all know that by default it looks toward the parent component for the instance. Okay, so if I explain you, here you can see I have not provided any provider, and let's remove the provider from the service, because we all know that this provided in is applicable for the entire root level, right? But I don't want to use it. Let's save it. So you can see it is breaked. Why? Because we are not providing it on a root level. Now here if I put the provider in app.component.html, not HTML, in TS. So let's say if I write here providers, okay, colon, and here I will write logger service. So it is working fine. Not fine, we need a comma. Yeah, so now it is working fine. Okay, why? Because it is referring to this provider. But my question is, suppose if I put the provider inside this child component.ts. okay, so here let's say here if I put the provider thing, providers, okay, and in providers I will write logger service with a comma, and from app.component.ts we will remove it again. Now save it, refresh it. So is it working? Yes, it is working fine. Why? Even though we don't have this inside a app.component, and we all know that by default its nature is to look for the app.component.ts providers, but right now it is working because we have provided the component skip self. No, we have provided in a child component.ts file only providers. But my thing is that I want to force this constructor to look only for the parent component, not for its own provider. If I remove it from here, it won't work. Let me show you. So you can see it is not working. Why? Because there is no provider. But if I put it here again, then it is working. So if you want to force it to look only at the parent component, in case of self, we will force only to look into the same component in child component, but in skip self it will look we will force it to look for the parent component. So let me show you how it works. So here I will write @skip self. So you can see automatically it added this thing in the import, and now if I save it and refresh it, so still it is showing error. Why? Because this time provider is there inside the child component, but it is referring to the app.component.ts file, and that is why it is giving the error. So moment when I add providers here, it will work perfectly. Logger service and comma. So now you can see it is working perfectly. Okay, but earlier it was throwing the error because it is not, it is simply skipping this part in the child component.ts. It is not looking for this part. Why? Because we have used this skip self. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.